Right, and welcome to the 6:15 news with me, Kejang Henry at Timby. Let's flag up with our top stories. Tense atmosphere in Douala's Bonamusadi neighborhood as staff of Elekam branch office were attacked by irate population, and this post-election atmosphere has actually gone viral and the National Union for Democracy and Progress, the UNDP of Bello Buba Maigari, has denied claims that are circulating on social media that the party has declared support for Issa Chiroma Bakari. Senator Flambon Ngaya-Pierre dismissed the claim or rumors at a forest conference, calling it false and political immaturity. And after 6 weeks at home due to regional lockdown, students in Buea across the south and across the southwest region have returned to school with visible excitement and relief. Top stories. Our respective platforms for consultation on Canal International. Thanks and welcome to join me. And it was a tense post-election atmosphere or climate that is marked by deep-seated public distrust as panic and anger erupted in Douala's Bonamusadi neighborhood after a man spotted staff at the elections branch office in Douala 5 handling what appeared to be sensitive electoral material, ballot boxes and envelopes, these after the votes. And believing that the boxes were being tampered with, the man began shouting allegations of fraud and quickly drawing a crowd of motorbike riders and curious onlookers. And within minutes, suspicion turned into chaos as some individuals physically attacked Elekam employees. One man sustained injuries to the face and arm. So far, security forces, including police and gendarmes, intervened swiftly to restore order and arrested the main instigator of the uprising. We will be bringing you details in our subsequent newscast. And the National Union for Democracy and Progress, the NUDP, led by Bello Buba Maigari, has denied claims circulating on social media that the party has declared support for Issa Chiroma's 2025 presidential victory. And speaking at the press conference last night, Senator Pierre Flambon Ngaya dismissed such rumors as false and has called for calm and political maturity. Hi, Cynthia.
Talking to the press Tuesday night, the National Union for Democracy and Progress, through party spokesman, rubbished the recent social media message that UNDP recognizes Chiroma's victory. This, he says, is fake.
Ce communiqué est un faux.
Explaining further, the campaign spokesman added that 1. The stamp and signatures in black colors is not their style. For all release, NUDP party is in English and French with the word communiqué by the sides and not in the middle, and their stamp and signatures always in blue color. Senator Pierre Flambon Ngaya, holding both original and fake, to belabor his points.
Le cachet est bleu et la signature est toujours à l'encre bleue, systématiquement. Donc si vous voyez un papier en tête avec le logo vert, mais avec un cachet, une signature noire, vous avez tous compris. C'est un faux.
Occasion for the NUDP scribe to pass on the information of the day, which they say was delayed by the fake news.
Le candidat Bello Buba Maigari,
Candidate Bello Buba Maigari, national president of NUDP, is calling on all his militants and sympathizers and all who voted for them to show proof of maintaining calm and maturity.
Et de maturité.
While waiting for the proclamation of the results of the presidential election, the party is calling on those concerned, notably Elections Cameroon Elekam and the Constitutional Council.
Tristan Gamo is telling us that the African Union and ECAS has given Cameroon a pass mark on the organization of the elections. She reports from Yaoundé that this election that was hitch-free has scored visibly far above average.
With only 228 out of the 31,000 polling units visited across the 10 regions by the observers of the African Union, the mission bearers say the October 12 presidential election unfolded in a calm and serene atmosphere. Report note that the institutions involved in the process are living up to expectations, especially with the availability of electoral materials. In a joint press conference this October 14 in Yaoundé, the two accredited structures, however, underlined a number of irregularities like difficult access to polling stations in some areas, limited disposition on inclusiveness, with persons with disabilities finding it difficult to get to polling units in the different floors of story buildings, limited representatives of political parties in the commission, among others. And dusting off their preliminary reports on the presidential polls in Cameroon, the AU and ECAS recommend that all disgruntled candidates at the end of the process should embrace the legal path and prioritize dialogue, that the government should take necessary measures to promote massive participation in future elections, and that Cameroon should adopt a unit ballot paper to eradicate prevailing electoral fraud.
Thanks very much, Hyacinth Chair, for that report. And political parties that filed candidates for the presidential elections are now at loggerheads. Both the candidates and their political parties that filed them are now divorcing. And Maureen D say it is a very tense atmosphere as these partners are not in any way going to move together.
Even before the October 12 presidential election, tensions were already smearing. Akeremona, a declared a candidate under the Universe Party, broke ties and shifted allegiance to the UNDP, leaving party president Kool Vonder furious. A similar split occurred between Jackson Ateki and Bezis Paul. Just after Election Day, the FDC announced a separation from its flag bearer, Samuel Hiram Iyodi. These breakups are seen as inevitable by some political analysts.
Lorsque vous êtes choisi,
when you are chosen by your militants to run as a presidential candidate and you decide to form an alliance with other political parties without the consent of your base, what is obvious is that the divorce is inevitable.
Ce qui est évident, c'est qu'il y aura un divorce.
Les partis Bensikin ou alors les parties known as Bensikin or Clando parties often operate with informal political marriage contracts. These agreements are rarely based on ideology, but rather on transactions, financial, material, or otherwise. The breakup usually comes when the clause in this unwritten contract is violated. Another explanation lies in the underwhelming performance of certain candidates in the presidential election.
Lorsque les tendances partielles sont publiées,
when partial results are published and the party's chosen leader hasn't even secured a significant showing, it leads to implosion within the party, especially between the grassroots militants and the leader who was endorsed for the presidential race.
Pour la course vers l'élection présidentielle.
Whether it's the party or its candidates, some engagements seem to serve merely as political showcases with limited long-term vision. During this period, all Cameroonians are closely watching the parties in competition. The presidential election also offers candidates, especially lesser-known ones, an opportunity to make a name for themselves and enter politics from the top. As they seek new political horizons, some may be absorbed by other parties, while others might attempt to launch their own.
Thanks, Maureen. And as these leaders have actually consumed a divorce, it is a reconnection in Buea southwest region of Cameroon and across the region after 6 weeks at home due to regional lockdown. And students have reconnected with their friends or their mates and as well as their teacher. It is excitement in that part of the country as many say they are thrilled to be back in school. Sherifa Saleh.
Students in the southwest region of Cameroon, particularly in Buea, have returned to school with renewed excitement and determination after a 6-week lockdown that kept them at home.
So the way school was today, I enjoyed it. That it's a really tough thing to come out in these tough days. So I just want to thank Papa God for this day that He has given us.
Despite the joy of returning to school, some challenges remain. The return to school marks an important step forward for education in the region, which has faced multiple disruptions in recent years.
All we need now is just focus and attention, and that's all we'll get. And the teachers too should be able to come and teach us so that the time that has been wasted come and recover everything they have passed.
With the support of teachers, parents and the government, students are determined to make the most of this new start and continue pursuing their dreams with resilience and hope.
No, thanks, Sharifa. And in the university neighborhoods like Mondiko, students are actually feeling the pinch of soaring house rains, as many of them are now balancing their studies or academic life with part-time jobs. Once more, Sharifa Saleh.
Rising accommodation costs in the university neighborhoods in Buea, South region of Cameroon, are placing a heavy financial burden on students, many of whom are already struggling to meet basic academic and living expenses.
Increment of the house rent here in this town of Buea, because it's actually through these services that I do that I am able to afford my house rent in Buea and equally to pay my school fees and likewise my outfits here in this town. But to be told is that there is a lot of increment in the rents that is occurring in this environment.
The high rents in areas surrounding the University of Buea have pushed some students to share overcrowded rooms, while others live in substandard conditions.
If the government actually sees into this, it's actually going to go a long way to help.
The financial strain has had a broader impact on education outcomes, with reports indicating that some students have dropped out of school entirely because they could no longer afford accommodation.
In the second year, the parents might not be able to meet up to that, and the students trying to study and at the same time trying to hustle to meet up. It becomes a problem with them.
Meanwhile, government has announced plans to construct 200 low-cost houses in Buea and Bamenda, an initiative aimed at easing the housing crisis for students and low-income earners.
The government should actually see into it so that at least we should actually eliminate the problem of students also dropping out as a result of this.
Until then, students continue to appeal for urgent intervention, hoping that affordable housing will allow them to concentrate on their studies and pursue their academic dreams without the constant worry of rent.
Thanks very much, Sharifan. As the world marks Pink October dedicated for breast cancer awareness, our newsroom actually hits the streets of Douala to find out how often women perform breast self-examination to stay away from any suspicious cancer attempt. Sharifa Saleh.
In Douala, most women rarely perform breast self-examinations.
Il m'arrive souvent de temps en temps de palper mes seins à moi-même, presque tous les mois.
Quand je me sens pas bien ou bien quand j'ai un dysfonctionnement quelque part, c'est où je vais me faire consulter.
Some women carry out the practice only occasionally, while others admit they never do it at all.
Je ne le fais pas régulièrement.
Doctors warn that this lack of consistency could delay the early detection of breast cancer, which remains one of the most common cancers affecting women.
And we recommend that every month a woman should do self-breast examination.
Medical professionals recommend that women palpate their breasts every month and visit the hospital for proper checkups every 6 months.
Clinical breast examination, which is the examination done by the doctor in the hospital, is recommended every 6 months. After self-breast examination, all women are advised to go to the hospital every 6 months if the self-breast examination is normal. And if abnormal, you can go to the hospital for checks.
Health experts also emphasize that breast cancer is not exclusive to women. Men though less frequently affected, are also at risk and should not ignore changes in their breast tissue.
Breast cancer also occurs in men. About 1% of all breast cancer cases occur in men.
Medics believe that with greater awareness and regular screenings, more lives can be saved through early diagnosis and timely treatment.
Thanks very much, Sherifa Saleh, for the report. And a new neonatal care unit has been inaugurated at the 2nd Region Military Hospital in Douala, offering specialized services for newborn. And this is the handiwork of industrialist Prometal, as we get in the following advertorial.
A new medical unit dedicated to neonatal care has officially opened at the 2nd Region Military Hospital in Douala. This unit will provide specialized medical attention to premature and vulnerable newborns, fulfilling a vital healthcare needs in the city. The establishment of the department is the result of a generous donation from Prometal Group, a leading national steel company.
This is where we provide all the care, everything we do with our hands. We observe through the windows and see the baby inside.
The new neonatal unit is equipped with essential medical devices, including an incubator, a resuscitation table, 2 external defibrillators, 2 mucoaspirators, and 4 vital signs monitors. These donations were warmly acknowledged by the hospital rector, who praised Prometal Group for their continued support and generosity.
2 or 3 years ago, the military hospital was unable to care for premature newborns. When the military pediatrician arrived, he requested the establishment of a neonatal unit. That is why we approached Prometal to help us set up this unit. Now that it is done, we hope to begin caring for premature newborns within the next few days or weeks.
During the official handover ceremony held on Friday, October 10, 2025, staff members of the hospital were given a guided tour of the new unit. The gift was presented as part of a shared commitment between the hospital and Prometal Group to support families and reduce the risk of neonatal complications and mortality.
Nous avons des valeurs communes.
We share common values of rigor, seriousness, and high standards in whatever we do. Health is a critical area of investment, just like steel manufacturing. Our efforts respond to the state's expectation that we contribute meaningfully to the development of the country. For Cameroon to progress, it needs a strong and healthy population.
The partnership between the 2nd Region Military Hospital and Prometal Group is a promising example of public-private collaboration aimed at improving healthcare outcomes. Prometal Group continues to invest in education, health, and the overall quality of life for communities across Cameroon.
And that draws the curtain for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Atimbe. We thank you for being there with us. Lee Pigeon is coming up with a debrief the actuality. Stay tuned on Canal International.